Alright, hi everyone, we're back. Let's not forget that today I'm also going to be recording the rest of this, so what's going to happen is I will start the recording off just like we would with any YouTube video, and for those of you who did not realize this, I want to say last night was the first time I actually turned off everything whenever I'm going to be doing a video recording from now on, which is probably just going to be on Sunday nights, since I am busy the rest of the week, last Saturday being an exception due to the holiday. Pretty much what's going to happen is on Sundays, everything's going to be turned off when I'm playing multiplayer games with my friends. That's when we'll have all the viewer attack stuff on, so for all the points that you gather watching me here, you can just throw them all back at me for, well, removing that. I feel like that's fair enough. I figured one day out of the week, I can escape being pummeled. Hopefully. With that being said, I am gonna end up stitching this together with the other video. Potentially. I don't know yet. I'm not decided, but on the bright side, I am still very excited to continue this. Legitimately was like, oh my god, I forgot to charge my phone. My camera's connected to my phone. I can't play this. I was so mad that I forgot to charge my phone last night. And by the time I looked at it, it was on like 40%, and I'd been staring at it like, oh my god, how did I forget this? That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the recording button and get started. After I take a drink. We need a sip of a drink first. Alright. Forgetful Null, honestly, I probably just need a second charger. I broke my other one. Whoopsie. Get 4? No. No, the other one broke, because I was stupid. It should be fine. Right, that being said... Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Null, and today we are gonna continue with, Of the Devil. I don't know if I'm cutting this up and putting, 2 videos together, or if I'm going to just have one really long video of all of chapter 0 of this, or is it episode 0? But hopefully today we will find out, is my client the Heartbreak Killer? I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. There's too much circumstantial evidence, and I'm still hyped that I guess part of it involving cameras just based off the title, and hopefully we can see if I'm still right. So, let's go ahead to continue. I don't know if I read this, however, I will go ahead and read it again. I'll have to manage somehow. I need to see this confession for myself. Sorry for everything. Can't say enough. Didn't mean to hurt you or do what I did. Did not. Sick. I don't know what sick means. Maybe it's like scratched out. Want any of it to happen. Can't stay in control when I get mad. When I'm not in control, I hurt people without meaning to. Wish I hadn't broken them. Didn't mean to at first, but I was hurting. Wanted you to hurt too, but didn't want to hurt you. Words aren't enough. I know that now. I'll take responsibility and do what I've been avoiding. Please forgive me. Typically means thus. Didn't thus mean to. I think it's a glitch. Like, it was scribbled out. Or like, something? I don't know. We'll figure that out in a second. She might bring it up. Typically used in quoting them, but this is a written confession they found on a desk. So I don't think that's gonna be it. That was difficult to read. Barely legible, in fact. Okay, so I was right. It was scribbled out, so they don't know what those words were. Well, got a spin on that? No need. But it's a confession. Not a confession that he signed, though, is it? Not yet. And not one he intends to sign anytime soon, considering that he asked for representation. Yeah, the most wanted man in the city asked for a lawyer, and got you. Guess you're both lucky. Hardly! I just happened to be awake when the call went out. But I'm not so flush with work that I can afford to turn tail now. So, if you don't mind, I'd like to go speak with my client. What? He's not still handcuffed in there, is he? Look, counselor, with all due respect, we have strong evidence pointing to that man being responsible for 6 murders. 2 hours or so in cuffs isn't cruel or unusual. And that's for your safety as well. It's kind of you to worry, but I doubt I'll be in any danger. He's killed 6 women. None of them were redheads. She has a point! Hell yeah, thank you, Morgan! Only 6. Hold on, no, chat, no! I don't think it's him. Remember, the only reason why they're tying it to him is because there was blood on his hand at the scene. One hand, the cybernetic one. His fingerprints were on the gun, yes. Yes, there is a confession, but I don't know if it's his handwriting. However, the gun did not have any registry. There is no other proof. It's all circumstance. It's all circumstance. Could also be planted, but then how did his, fingerprints get on the gun? I need to know. Maybe he owned the gun and somebody stole it. I have no idea. But either way, all of it is circumstantial right now. Also could be planted meant the note true. The actual killer could have been trying to frame somebody. Or maybe the killer didn't like him? I think the only thing I have to go off, though, is the fact that I'm the lawyer and I need to prove he's innocent. I don't need to prove somebody else did it. I need to prove that he did not. Or whoever found the note? The police found it on the desk. Like, the investigating team. So I just need to prove it wasn't him. Seriously, though, I'd like to speak with him alone now. Camera's off if you don't mind. Max on or off is your call, counselor, but we'll be watching the feed from right outside in case anything happens. And the cuff that is, stays on. That worried about me? How chivalrous. Yeah, my armor's practically blinding. Gross. I'll start up the unlock tackle. Counselor, just one last word of advice. If you have any interest in his well-being, I'd suggest you help him sign that confession. Not a bad idea. I do get paid either way. But the defense part of defense attorney isn't just for show detective. I mean it. 6 people dead is one thing, but he's also caused weeks of widespread terror and public unrest. Putting it another way, he's made the state look bad. That's a capital crime if there ever was one. And even if the death penalty's not actually on the table these days, I can guarantee he's not gonna like whatever rehabilitation plan they draw up for him. Look, I've seen the virtual work release program in person, and it's being challenged before the Supreme Court. Yeah, sometime the next decade, maybe. Just remember, a plea deal might feel like a loss for you, but it keeps him from, well, that's probably a win for your client, right? Prison sentences are generally lighter for those who plead guilty, that much is true. It saves the courts a great deal of time and money, and they show their gratitude with reduced sentencing. But no one will ever be grateful towards the heartbreak killer. This police is like, I think they're trying to force it on him. Yeah, Fingerprints on the gun, too. By the way, have you been reading your terms profiles and evidence? I have from time to time. One thing that I do want to do that what the hell, happened? Potentially killed 6 people. One thing that I did do in Danganronpa is I would like to go talk to everyone, and then as I'm, like, getting ready to be like, hey, let's go take a look at all this, let's actually read up on anything and compare, like, what was said to, like, their actual profiles. For instance, we can see what's not been read here. This was just in this conversation. So now that I'm done with this art, like, little talk with them, I do want to take a look, because the Calver is the gun. It's a very, very old gun. The digital autopsy. Why do we utilize practice? Grave clubbing? How to set up stolen identity? How to delete a dead profile? Yeah, post-mortem examination of the electronic footprint. I want to say net scrubbing, if I understood this right, is like them like trying to find all traces. Yep. So if I'm understanding all of the virtual work release. Oh, I can't even look at this one. Optics, Optin crime surveillance system. That's a, like, whole thing that they were having an issue with. Mods are body modification. The Heartbreak Killer, that's our supposed person. Okay, I'm gonna keep watching this game. All we know is that they really want me to get him to sign a confession that he didn't sign. I don't even know if it's his handwriting, and it was barely legible. He could have been forced to write it. IoT, Internet of Things, network sharing between countless electronics. Use of Chrome, small packets of data. Okay. So it's basically like the cookies on your computer. Like when you visit a site, you pick up a cookie. And that's like, hey, you've been here. Okay. Oh, we have not looked at the evidence yet. One thing is bothering me, though. This pill organizer had medication for, like, somebody that's body modded. She, I don't think, was. She wasn't body modded. Victim Diane Dawn was 27-year-old agricultural genetics researcher. Found shot through the heart in the bedroom of an apartment she shares with the prime suspect. No connection with the previous victims besides her appearance. There was a bang that is a ceramic vase knocked over at the crime scene. Weighty and sturdy, it remains featureless even after being tossed. There was a weird sound that was heard. The suspect's prosthetic. They took off his arm. Hold on. You're telling me they took off his arm? Yeah, handcuff. I mean, yeah, I guess it could be used to, like, strangle somebody. They said that, but, like... Oh shit, you're right, it could be the victims. Grip strength, dexterity, and low cost of maintenance. But you also worked in, like, public planning, like, the revolver, the Calver. 99.97% certainty. Their rifling marks matched. Yeah, they said that he could strangle me. But the brand of pill organizer, this was in the victim's grasp. They had a number of prescriptions of over-the-counter medications from immune adjusters instead and triprednisone, prescribed to reduce moderate to severe discomfort arising from mod sensitivity complications, which this would be his medication. Because she wasn't modded. No. They said, that they found him with his hand covered in blood. His prosthetic hand was the one covered in blood. The victim's blood. The glass shards from a mirror at the crime scene was low-tech furnished. The scattered shards of glass onto the victim's body. So this happened after the victim was on the ground. Here's the note where it... Yeah. Why is it Flat's note? I don't know if that's actually Flat's handwriting. I'll have to ask him. Yeah, see, the suspect was when taken to custody, taken by lab techs for additional analysis, but initial tests show the blood on the left sleeve matches that of the victim. So, if you look here, that's the left sleeve, and then if you look at the arm, that's a left... Is that a left arm? I don't know. I do remember the conversation saying that it was his left arm. We will get back to that. Right arm? I'm 90%... thank you. I know, but I'm like 90% sure they said the blood was on his cybernetic arm. I read that. Or that could also have been something that fell and caused a weird sound. Autopsy report. Okay. Cause of death, trauma. Okay, we already went over that. And then arcs. So, shot from the room's doorway. But why would he be in the doorway if he lived there? And okay. Hear me out. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. If they were arguing, sure, something, like maybe they pushed each other. Why would he stand in the doorway to shoot her and not just up close? It doesn't make sense to me. The, setting, unless I am told something different, that doesn't make sense. I feel like if you're having a verbal confrontation, things are being pushed around, she has your pill case, you're going to try to snatch that. You're not going to be in the doorway and make, especially when you're mad, make a single shot with the hand your fingerprints are on. Your fingerprints, not the cybernetic arm that's very much clearly built to, have grip strength and dexterity. This isn't gonna have fingerprints. Your other hand would. I'm just saying, it doesn't add up. That's a good question, they might. Either way, as of right now, I'm convinced my client is innocent. Of at least this one. Okay, here's the androids that we were talking about. The warm androids, and then profiles. Here's Flat. Now we have his information. Known affiliates pending. Look, he only has civil disturbances from arguing with his girlfriend. Hi, Avamar. Hi, Hydro. Oh, people are showing up. Welcome. I'm trying to prove that this man is not a serial killer. Wait, is this in London? No, I think it's in the US. His name is Flat. His name is Carlos Flat. I'm convinced this is New York. I've not been told anything else, so. That being said, I have 18 credits, and if those who don't know, the credit system here basically is how many things I've interacted with and gotten correct so far. Okay. But no one will ever be grateful towards the Heartbreak Killer. Anyone convicted for killing 6 people, they'll never rest their mind another day in their life. 3:35 a.m., June 5th, 2086. Harry, we're doing good. Oh, here he is. Here's the supposed Heartbreak Killer. He looks so done. He waves his arm. It's depressing as hell in here. They need to liven this place up. What did it trick? Okay then. Carlos Flat, right? Hope you don't mind if I get comfortable. We've got a lot to cover, but this shouldn't take all night. What exactly look, I've already told you people I didn't... I'm not a cop, Carlos. Furthest thing from it. I'm a lawyer. You're a lawyer, in fact. And I'm here to help you. He looks so, like, dumbfounded, like... Don, we can't be like that. Not like this, Don. Hold on. I'ma have to, Yeah, we don't do that, Don. Goodness. Anyway. Yeah, well, they said that too. All of them did. Back there, and yeah, kept repeating it the whole ride over. They said that they were going to help me, that they knew this was all a mistake. Then they said that I killed, acting like they were on my side, and they thought I could've, It's not their job to help you, Carlos. But it is mine, and I'm here now. He's still in shock. I need more information, but if I approach this the wrong way, he'll just clam up even more. I'm sure you're exhausted. It's probably difficult to think, let alone speak. But I'd like you to try to answer a few questions. The police already questioned you, I'm sure. But they were treating you as a suspect, not as a client. Okay. So, what do you want to know? So, typically the way, yeah, he is missing his right arm. So the blood was on his left. Okay, so what we want to do first, if this is going to follow the whole your choices matter, you want to know about everything first, and then you want to ask them the hard question. Like, you need to know, like, can I trust you? Like, hey, who are you? I need to know who I'm working with before I start going, bad. Because depending on the information that you have, it does affect some of the questions you'll be able to ask, if I understood the game right. So order might matter here. Let's start simple, something mundane, grounded. I'd like to know a bit more about you first, Carlos. Something like, what line of work are you in? I'm with the city's engineering. Or I was, or I should be. As I thought, the police must be convinced he mapped the optics blackouts using data he stole from work. I got slotted for the job. And, Carlos, I'm gonna need more than that. So what do I know? He works in city engineering, not a desk job. Reyes said he was modded for work in that arm. Must be in custody at the moment, but based on his shoulder, it'd have to be pretty... utilitarian, because he has to use it, and it was, like, heavily crafted. There we go. Utilitarian, yeah. He doesn't strike me as the type who's enamored with the aesthetics of modding. The young and the restless and the rich, swapping in neon and chrome limbs because they like it that way looks. Or the way it makes other people start looking at them. No, he's pragmatic, grounded, and very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. Wait, did she say unlucky or lucky? Hold on. Oh no, did I misread something? Anyway. You know, my brother wanted to mod. Really? Really? I don't even have a brother. Press L for logs, you're my hero. Oh, and very unlucky. There we go. Yep, okay. Wait, hold on, I can prove something now. Defense attorney. Seriously, I'd like to speak with him alone now. Camera's on. Okay. Never mind. I can't go back that far. Fuck. I was about to go back and show you guys. They said the blood was on the cybernetic hand. She said unlucky. Yep, we found it. Ella's logs, yeah. Again, I wish this went back further so I could prove my point earlier of I'm swearing they said the blood was on the cybernetic hand. I'm swearing up and down here. And if I'm wrong and crazy, I will find it in my VOD when I go to edit everything together. I will. I will be crazy. I don't even have a brother. He had everything planned out, a whole career path of promotions and bonuses and the upgrades they'd afford him. Then came his 18th birthday present, test results, politely informing him that he's not a viable candidate. That sucks. I think he felt relieved, actually. She's definitely, like, watching his expression, for sure. Not crazy. I'm right. Seemed like it was a weight off his chest. Like he was glad that he didn't have to choose. Does that make any sense? Yeah. I think it does. I always figured if I'd start at all, I'd start small. A hand or an eye. Test the water. Never thought about lobbing my whole damn arm off, but the recruiter was enthusiastic. He said, "'Cause the NCDA, there was financial aid and resources, of course, that got shit-canned, and now me and every other modder is royally screwed. Couldn't even let me keep the tax credit. The new Citizens with Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed. But I doubt he'd appreciate the distinction at the moment. I work the type of spaces, the high vault environments, mostly canopy upkeep." Interesting, so he was working in the canopy, which is heavily scrutinized at the moment. Okay. Typical stuff for modders, you know? He's speaking freely now. Don't need to do much more than repeat his words back to him to keep him talking. But the right word choice here or there can still make a difference. You work on the canopy? You must be under a lot of pressure. You must be under a lot of pressure now that the subways are cordoned off. Damn straight, and this crap was long. Once the word got out that the case against him was real, every desk job in the chain became terrified of their own shadow. All of them convinced that internal affairs is gonna come knocking if they misplace so much as a paperclip. Everything by the book means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving. No room for engineering. Yeah. And no patience for screw-ups. He's still trying very hard not to look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing your prosthetic right now, Carlos? Yeah, that. Rejection issues. Starting last month. A lot of sleepless nights. Rejection? Did the therapy not take? Bone. That's a new one. Mod therapy. So this is information on the pill case. This would be involving the pill case. Adjusting the humanoid mind and body for unique challenges and stresses that come with cybernetic body modification typically includes physical therapy, mental technique instruction, sensitivity training. Depending on the individual's viability or lack thereof, medications and even minor viral tuning may be employed to modify the body's immune response. But improvements made in recent years in medically sterile alloy have greatly reduced the percentage of the patients that require such treatment. So he has an older mod then. Okay. It's not like that. I wasn't oozing pus out of my sockets or anything. Then do these rejection issues have anything to do with your scars? Not in the way you're thinking. I'm right-handed. Oh. But his fingerprints are on the gun. He can't shoot with a left hand. If he's mainly, like... I'm also assuming that it's, like, the stereotypical movie thing of, like, only one arm. So maybe I'm crazy thinking this, but I think you would typically need to, like, have both hands on... Okay, anyway, I'm just gonna assume that this is ridiculous, then. So he's right-handed, so he's trying to, like, scratch his face and everything, probably. So those cuts on his face are just from shaving? Never thought this could on so long I'd have to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small trembling, but then spasms. This man literally cannot aim if his hand is, like, trembling and spasming. He doesn't have the ability. I've said it so many times. He is innocent. Just oversensitivity, they said. And easy fix. But the problem got bigger. Couldn't let it get that far. Need to be able to trust your own hands when you're on the job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment and people get hurt. So I sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, and watched my case get placed at the back of the damn line. Where did you turn it in? Some mass turnaround chop shop with a waiting list, like you wouldn't... It doesn't sound like you're a happy customer. Hell no! I'd found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times. But as long as I'm renting and not owning, the manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance. Lat's prosthetic just got updated. I know, I just, like, submitted 5 weeks ago. Or was it on his... Interesting. Okay. But if you're really good at guns, you can one-hand guns. I don't think he is. That's the issue here. I mean, it's a really old gun, too. Imagine lobbing up your arm for a cybernetic arm that you don't even own. I know! And that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive-ass stump for a shoulder that I haven't been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I've got 2 working arms again. You couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself just in the meantime? I serve at the pleasure of the state. And they've got exclusivity contracts with Hindi, all locked up white knuckle tight. Hindi? How Industries? How Industries? That is not... World Leader. Then who was the one with, backlog setting articles? Is it how? No, it's Noble Electronics with the state now. Okay. So, because they're at odds with Noble, he's having to go with Hal. Okay. He looks innocent for a serial killer. Is achievements for his work? Yeah, no, there's never been any mention of that. As I recall, he's registered with one of their Habilis models. Okay. If I took one step on site with uninsured tech, forget the fines, I'd lose the down payment and my arm, and I'd never work in the city again. If this was last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with management, but like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone now that longs in deep hot shit. You mentioned discomfort. Are you in pain? Pain will come and go. It's the itches that'll kill ya. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. Arm-shaped attached to me. Didn't they give you something to, well, wear in the meantime? Something the clinics lend out for cases like this. What they gave me is a dead weight, 3-jointed, landfill bait piece of shit. Sorry, it's a very shitty feeling having part of your body that you know they cut corners on. It fits, it's compatible, technically. I can slot it in and feel on balance again. But the fingers don't even bend. And the quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep or dead. So were you wearing it when... I have so many questions. But if I approach this the wrong way... I think I'm gonna go when she died. No. When he was arrested, because I feel like if I ask out of order, because I'm not asked about the victim yet, and I don't want to, like, talk him into a corner. I'm gonna go the nice route. I need to know if they saw him with this arm. Because if the fingers on it don't bend, he might have an issue holding the gun in his left hand. So he wouldn't be able to hold the gun. When you were arrested, were you wearing it when you were arrested? No, I wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so... can't have gotten too far. So Detective Reyes was being quite literal about how he was found. He had the victim's blood on his left arm, only because at the time of question, he didn't even have it right. Oh, okay. I misunderstood that. Guys, talk it back. I was wrong. I misunderstood when his cybernetic arm was actually mentioned. No inconsistencies in the story so far, and he's opened up about as well as can be expected. But this has all just been a warm-up for the both of us. Now comes the delicate part. Carlos, you and the victim were romantically involved. How long did you two know each other? Right. I've known her since college. We'd shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually, we just got together at some point. Guess I never actually asked her out the real formal way. Sounds pretty cowardly saying it out loud. Diane, she was in genetics. Focused his studies on agriculture. It always takes him a few tries to get used to using past tense. Just finished her post-grad work this year. Got hired right out the gate, practically headhunted. You believe that? Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company'd be lucky to have her, unlike... It was a real-ass job. Paid real-ass money too. So her career was starting to pan out. Right as years had fallen into the mother of all slumps. Where was she hired? Pedigree? No. Perigee Laboratories. I say that like the name matters. The whole setup's under Harco's umbrella. That doesn't narrow it down. The Harvest Corporation grows a third of the soybeans and corn in the entire country. One client that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Now, no corporation earns the mega prefix without a little throat cutting, but Harco is about as tame as a big business can get. Predictable like the seasons, and no one's gonna buy that No one's gonna buy that they had some lab tech murdered because of corporate greed. Had she adjusted well to her new job? Yeah, they loved having her there. She never mentioned arguments or disputes, corporate politics getting rough. I don't think so. Not like I've been good listener lately, but I never got the impression that she... Look, no one I know could do this to her, and there's nothing she could have done that would deserve what happened to her. It was a long shot hoping for a disgruntled character from our past to shift blame onto, but with no other suspects, I can't just reshuffle the detective's suspicions. I'll have to disprove their argument entirely. Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful. It was? Now, I'd like you to try and tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight. Start at the beginning and take your time. The details are important. Alright, Miss, Morgan. I'll try, Morgan. When you're ready. We were arguing. They'd been arguing a lot lately, arguing about stupid stuff. I haven't been working, haven't been making money, haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself, but more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous over goddamn money. The reports say that you were arguing around 8 p.m. 8? Yeah, must have been when we started. We got into it and I said a lot of things I shouldn't have. I said one thing that I really, really shouldn't have. I crossed a line and we both knew it, so I left. Oh no, and the cameras were down between 8 and 9 p.m. So he left. Oh, that's not good. Oh. Oh no. Fuck. That's terrible. You left. Yeah, walked out the front door, thought some fresh air might help me cool off. Help me figure out what to say to make it up to her. Of course, the air wasn't fresh, just humid. Thick like mud. And while I was pissing away the time, Diane was... Did you bring your phone with you or any other electronics? No. I kind of stormed off, didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me. Oh no! Oh no, I feel so bad for him. Oh no! Buddy! Buddy! Carlos! No! Fuck! With the optics down, traffic and street level cameras won't help him. That leaves... Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with monetized? Did you buy anything? Cash or credit? No, not even a vending machine. Not even a damn vending machine. They were off by routine. He's suspected of killing her, not messing with the cameras, but because he's engineering, they want to say he knew about the blackout period. I don't think that's right. I think he is too low of a level to have known when the routine, like, camera blackout period would be. I don't think it was him. It's not adding up. I may have met my match. How can anyone be this unlucky? That's quite unfortunate. I just wanted quiet at the time. Wanted to wallow in it, really. Sorry if I don't have all the details straight. My head is... But if my exact route would help, the chem's probably... What? What is it? Optics was what? Can that even happen? And there's no other proof that you were out at the time Diane was killed. Meaning you've got no alibi. This can't. Listen, I didn't do this, I couldn't. Carlos, I'm the one person you don't have to try and convince. After all, I'm your lawyer. So let's just get it all out there and see what we've got to work with. Right. Now, you said you left to clear your head. So what made you come back? I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was. But it was loud, and it scared me. And it came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first, but at some point I must have started running because when I got back I was so out of breath. And when I saw that the front door was open, something dropped in my chest and my lungs wouldn't... You live on the first floor, right? Yeah, first floor apartment, street facing entrance. We were proud of that when we first moved in, like it was some kind of big deal. From the hallway I saw her, but I didn't realize. I never thought she was. The lights were off. The whole room was a mess. I thought we had been robbed, or she had fallen, or there was broken glass, furniture knocked over. And she was... I called her name, and she didn't move. I checked her pulse, and she was still warm. Blood was warm. And I saw... the gun. So that's how his fingerprints got on it. It looks so heavy, but I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real. Is that why you picked it up? What? Pick it up? I didn't touch that thing. Oh. And how did his fingerprints get on it? I didn't shoot her, damn it! Doing what I do, you hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies. Bad lies especially. For me, it's always been easy to spot a lie, but it can't be hard to know what to do about it. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive. And none of this works if he doesn't trust me. Stay up to date on the details by checking your phone. If your clients notice that you don't know what you're talking about, they'll stop giving you any credit. Phantom's Modder itching. Shit, that's a warning. Hold on. Flats rental. Where's the gun? Fingerprints matching Carlos Vacker Flat's left hand with 99.91% certainty. So he did touch the gun. Oh, God. Okay. But he did touch the gun. We know it was with his left hand. No, there is none. That's one of the issues with the gun here. We will, I'll pull it up for you. Well, let's take a look. The revolver bears fingerprints, rifling marks, but because it's so old, that it doesn't have what they call tagging on it, where it lets people know like when it went off, because it's from 2051. The newer guns have something called tagging. Terms. Briefly revived. Oh, is it not up here? Anyway, they'd mentioned that there's tagging. Because it was an illegal weapon, it could be his. Yeah, that was also brought up previously. You did touch the gun, Carlos. That's just a fact, and we know because... I'm just going to double check this. Bear's fingerprints matching Carlos Baker-Flat's left hand. This is his left hand. I am checking my hands. That is his left hand. You are Carlos Flat. It's a fact that your fingerprints are on that gun. What? But I didn't do this. I didn't. I wasn't thinking. I was just... Carlos, all I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all. Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun? That explains how his prints got on the gun, but not in a way that would satisfy police. Still, if all he did was hold the gun... So stupid. I know what the gun looks like, but seeing it in my own home, right in front of... You were in shock, Carlos. You still are. The police came in sometime after that. I don't remember much of what they said. Things started moving fast, it seemed like. The rest of my night went probably the way you'd expect. Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane, but you said you were surprised to see the room trashed when you got back. To clarify, you're saying that you two never had a physical fight. What? Physical? We never fought. We never fought like that. Did the police say we did? They assumed as much. No! No, his what? That's... The police are wrong. The police... Where'd it go from up here? Hold on, there was something up here that said he had, like, a criminal history. I do remember seeing this. ARCS data. No. Where'd it go? I'm not crazy. I do remember taking a look at the... Is it under Heartbreak? No. I do remember it said that there were, like, civil disturbances or civil disruption. Where'd it go? Bring it back! Bring it back! I don't know where it is! Oh no, I might be hallucinating evidence now. They assumed as much. Which means they also assumed the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. Considering what Carlos told me, what else did they assume? What is it? I'd like you to take a look at something for me. The crime scene. Oh. It's an AR module built from data taken as the police entered, so... Right, it's just that... It's just data, Carlos. No grisly details. Okay, let's see it. Oh, wait, hold on. L. I didn't mean to click. Okay, let me see it. Take your time. Triple dots. Alright. I think I've got it. That's how the police found things. Now close your eyes and think back to how the room looked when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place. Alright? I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind. I don't remember exactly where everything was. But, well, the mirror was upright, of course. And that clock was still on the wall. And the chair got knocked over at some point, and the bed got tossed, and the cushions torn, and the urn fell. Other than that... No, sorry, that's all that stands out to me. I see. Like, so? That looks like how I was explaining D&D to my players recently. Hold on, guys. Who wants to see something really, really cool? Who wants to see how I, off-stream, was explaining a rock to my D&D players? I know, this is like off-stream. Hold on, I relate to Morgan. One second. I got this. That one goes off. I got you guys. You guys need to see this piece of artwork. Hold on, I wonder if, hold on. Hold on, everyone. I wonder... I should be laughing at this as hard as I am, but everyone knows that I draw, right? But I'm not... Oh no. I'm doing something terrible showing this to you guys. I'm gonna have more questions than answers. Hold on, guys. Image. Okay, I'm just gonna immediately delete this after. Y'all don't understand. Yep, here it is. Alright, that being said, I am gonna be right back. Give me one moment. I'm just gonna turn off my model for a second. I'm still gonna be here. But my, manager from work texted me, and I need to figure out why. Uh-oh. Interesting. Okay, guys. So, fun fact, where I work, overtime is highly, highly taboo. No rest for the wicked? So many doggos? No, these are dragons. These are dragons. Anyway, this is how I was explaining the lore of a campaign to people. So if you ever wonder what happens when I'm not streaming my D&D games, typically it's this. And honestly, I'm not even, like, too mad about that, so... Yeah, no, I'm being offered overtime. Somebody wants me to, like, take their weekend, and I don't know how I feel about that. I feel particularly spicy. I'll think about this. I've got until tomorrow to think about this. I'm gonna see whose weekend it is. I'm gonna see how much I, do not vibe with the person. Anyway. Back to this, which is far more entertaining than me contemplating if I want to ruin somebody's plans or not. So cute. No. Hold on. I can draw. No. Hold on. I can draw perfectly fine. I need to, like, defend myself here. Wait. 1 second. I used to stream art. I did. I'm a digital painter, so that means that's digital drawing. It's 2 different things. 2 different things. God damn it. Hold on. I will show you the last thing that I drew on stream. Are you guys mentally prepared for this? Are you mentally prepared for the last thing that I drew on stream? Because I don't think you are. I think you guys think I'm bluffing about this. I did this. This is my art style. I do black and white semi-realism. I do painterly shit. This is the last thing that I did. Oh my god. No. Don't make me become an art streamer again for a day. Next Sunday, I will... I'm not gonna make a threat I can't follow through with, but I can draw perfectly fine. Thank you. Oh, if you actually want to see something really cool, you can see how I was doing everything, too, because I use this as an explanation, so I digitally paint. This is all one layer. Hi, Aldrich. Hi, SC. How long did this take How long did this take compared to the D&D backstory? The actual rock painting didn't take too long. It's for the, Tyranny of Oops All Dragons campaign. I was telling a fucked up, version of the lore of Tiamat and Bahamut. As for this, digital painting, I always start out with, like, a rough shape, I then quarter off the shapes, and then I shade everything. So, now I will get this off that. But yes, you're all good, Aldrich. You're not late. My schedule is erratic. So, anyway, like I was saying here, I can draw perfectly fine. Thank you. No pineapple on pizza. Why are you like this? Okay, let's get back to being a detective and not giving me an aneurysm. What's wrong? Something out of place? Carlos, you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, don't be afraid to speak up. It's just, I guess I assumed your notes would be making edits to the AI? Well, I suppose that works too. Oh god, I love her. I love her, she's so silly. Sorry, I didn't mean... I think your drawing was pretty good, considering... I'd like to change the subject now, Carlos. Right. Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk. Letter? What do you mean? Was Diane sleeping around behind his back? Oh... I mean the letter here. Do you recognize it? Because the police are calling it a confession. A confession? But this is just a note to self! Pardon? Look, when we fight, I lose my temper, say things I don't mean to. Yo, let me see this note. Hold on. Hold on. Flat's note. I'm sorry for everything. Can't say it enough. Because he was arguing with her. I didn't mean to hurt you or do what I did. He genuinely said something. I did not want any of it to happen. Can't stay in control when I get mad. When I'm not in control, I hurt people without meaning to. This isn't a confession to a murder. I wish I hadn't broken them. Didn't mean to at first. Is it potentially talking about a promise here? But I was hurting. I wanted you to hurt too, but I didn't want to hurt you because he was jealous. Words aren't enough, and I know that now. I'll take responsibility and do what I've been avoiding. Please forgive me. What is even... Sir, please answer this. So this morning, I tried writing things down so I'd have a script to stick to. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her. Carlos, you say in the note that you hurt them. That's I broke her fidget tubbies. I'm just thinking of a Labubu with a fidget spinner on its stomach. Her what? Her what? Her fidget tubbies. That's crazy, it really is. They're these collectible ceramic character things. Wait. Hold on. Guys, we found something. Debris. Ceramic debris of an indeterminate origin found at the crime scene. This is a fidget tubby. We found it! Solved! They're supposed to be like tactile, you use them as paperweights or like conversation starters. Conversation starters? She loved those little things. Another thing that I watch true crime stuff, guys. We all do. First of all, one thing that I noticed in like the true crime like interrogations, people that are guilty will frequently use the past tense more often. They're like, oh yeah, she was. Like, they already knew it. Like, they don't need to adjust to the fact. This guy saying that, like, the present and the past, like, getting confused, I feel like it lends more credibility. Like, I genuinely think he's too stupid to be this murderer. They're not worth a damn. You can buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they meant a lot to her, and I broke them. Fidget tubbies, collectible and fragile ceramic conversation starters. The victim's personal collection was pulverized by Carlos Flat's replacement prosthetic arm in the morning of the murder. Evidently, an acquired taste. There we go. And I broke them. I mean, I was pissy at the time, but that goddamn piece of shit rental arm, I hardly know where I'm swinging it half the time. Got so angry, I just ripped it off and tossed it in the room. That cheap, dusty, worthless... Okay, let's say he did break her frigid duckies with his replacement arm. What does that change? He didn't have the arm on. He threw it. Nothing at the moment. There's not enough detail in the note for me to prove what his intent was when he sat down to write it. But if the police insist that he's claiming it's a confession, the heartbreak killings anyway. Couldn't even bother to sweep them up, I felt so. Alright, Carlos, thanks for answering my questions. Now I'm going to call the police back in here and I'm going to get this cleared up for you. What? That's it? That's it? Okay. Although before I do that, I do have to ask. What do you know about the Heartbreak Killer? I love Morgan. Heartbreak? You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, as much as anyone, I guess. I haven't been getting out much, but I'm sure everybody's on edge. A guy like that out there. He shoots people through the heart, right? The police kept the victim's appearances far away from any upstanding news sources. So unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend. I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that's just doesn't mean anything, does it? If he's this slow on the uptake, it's gonna be a real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. I'll just have to squash that theory as quickly and definitively as possible. 4:04 a.m., June 5th, 2086. I didn't realize you could smoke in here. Technically, I can smoke wherever I want. Perfy. I guess so. Nervous? Don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock. Right, I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this. No, of course not. It'll be my first homicide defense, though. Oh. Why does everyone think the first time's so goddamn important? Hey, cheer up. I've got relevant experience in other areas. Oh. And, what areas are those? You ever gamble, Carlos? I'm defending you in court. Don't worry, I'm your lawyer. Have you ever gambled? I can't. She can't be serious. She can't be serious. Oh no, you're the heartbreak killer. Yeah, that's what my gamble says. You're too stupid for it. No ma'am. I never go anywhere near loot box. Won't touch the stuff. I mean, more like playing cards. Oh. Well then, no to that too. I've actually got pretty terrible luck. Could have fooled me. Well, what I do is a lot like poker, Carlos. Oh god, I don't know how to play poker, guys. We're all screwed. Why does he look like a drug addict? Art style. He's just a construction worker. Poker's nice because even if you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win. Which makes things pretty fun. Okay, so, do you have a good poker face? I like to think so. And are you lucky? Only when the stakes are high. And, in this metaphor, we're playing poker. And the state's the dealer. If only! No, this state's more like the house. Ew. Spooky. You mean like the house always wins? Yes. They're very good at it. Winning, I mean. That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're the house. So what do? We play the cards we're dealt as best we can. Win more hands than we lose. Keep it up, and eventually somebody will come over and tap the dealer on the shoulder and whisper something in their ear. And then we'll be politely asked to leave. That doesn't sound very triumphant. The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like, don't lose. Thanks, Morgan. But I guess I was asking, like, what should I say? Just leave all the talking to me. So that's the strategy. What's up? You know there's a saying about gamblers with strategies? Yo, ready to confess yet? Cause I already woke up the DA. Already? She must be new. The district attorneys have final say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. Only fair since they're the ones who end up having to actually prove the damn thing. Most of them prefer simple guilty pleas over long, protracted trials. And they all dislike having their time wasted. Oh, interesting. You're a gambling veteran? Oh god. And maybe YouTube chat can explain poker to me one day because I haven't a clue. Unfortunately, then you'll have to call them back. Because my client is not guilty. And frankly, I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here. Right. What she said. You've got a weird sense of humor, counselor. Different generations, I guess. Before my time kind of thing. I'm very serious when it comes to defending a man's innocence, detective. Counselor, we have your client's written confession. His written confession? Let's start there. Okay, we'll be happy to. The thrust of every argument starts with the facts, what's already known and agreed upon. Public knowledge for every player at the table. It's pretty simple, counselor. Real, painted by number stuff. See, we found a note at his apartment, with his fingerprints on it. Apologizing for how he hurt them all so bad. Now, how are you planning to spin that? Those are the facts. I've been building up my hand all night, and now I've got the weapons to answer anything they try to throw at me. Well, my client did write that note, and it was an apology. But not for murder. He was apologizing for... Analyze the facts as they're laid out, and then review the responses in your hand. Select the card that best answers the argument and place it into the slot on the right. You can mouse over your opponent's portrait for a reminder on what key point you're answering. He wrote a confession. Ceramic crap? Okay, so it's gonna start me off easy. The gun has nothing to do with this. It's the debris. He was simply apologizing for this. The hell is that? I found myself asking the exact same question. What are we looking at here? Something from the crime scene. This diagram of the room, it's created from data you captured, right? Pure non-GMO augmented reality crime scene data, yeah. What's non-GMO? Not much these days. Notice anything out of place? Yeah, the whole room's full of busted shit. It's the scene of the murder. Full of busted shit for sure. But I was more referring to the unidentified ceramic debris found on the western side of the room. Wait a second. Hold on. We did something real quick. So it's over here. Okay. Mirror was upright, the clock was on the wall, the chair got knocked over, the bed tossed, the cushions torn. That's how... That's what he did. Or that's how it should have been. Okay. Sorry, I just needed to review that. I'm going to trial demo moment. Honestly, I bought everything. I would love to see the actual trial. I'm so used to Danganronpa. The hell is that? Ceramic debris, huh? Must be from the vase that got tossed. Actually, that's not possible. Oh. Because that vase wasn't damaged. It's not possible for that debris to have come from the vase, because that vase is still pristine. How is that possible? The lady at the garage sale told me that it was so old and delicate. Damn it, the one time I tried and thrift shop on my own. Well, so what? What does it even matter? If the vase doesn't have a scratch on it, then the debris must have come from somewhere else. That debris is what my client wrote the apology over. You're saying that confession was his apology for not vacuuming? I am, because that pile of rubble is all that remains of the victim's collection of Fidget Tubbies. What he said. Mr. Flat broke the victim's ceramic figures by accident. And this impassioned note to self was just his attempt at scripting out an apology. Can you prove that? We're taking this seriously? As much as I wish we weren't. We're all in agreement that my client wrote that note. We can all plainly see that there's ceramic debris at the crime scene. Now, since it couldn't have come from the vase, it must have come from the collectibles. Simple, right? The hell are you on about? The entire room was trashed, as the arcs clearly shows. Those fidget tubbies must have gotten pulverized during the struggle, too. You recall, you're really gonna claim he sat down to write an apology for breaking her toys after gunning her down? Not a bad train of thought, but I can do better. No, those collectibles were destroyed much earlier than that, and there's proof. They broke during the shooting. It's the arm, right? Because he threw the arm. Or he was, like... It's... The gun has nothing to do with it. The gun's not in the question. It's the arm. Just take a closer look at the rental you took into custody. Huh? One swipe of your finger should show you exactly how devastating it was to the fickle buddy ecosystem. It's fidget tubbies. Whatever. Got them neurons firing? Yep. I had to, like, double check myself. Sometimes you have to think out loud here, guys. You did take it into custody. I'm sure your text found ceramic debris on it, yes? Now that you mention it. Fine. Whatever. He broke him with his arm. While he was killing her. Happy? Overjoyed because even a cheap arm's got an operating system that logged the last time it was worn, right? Right. See, I happened to spot a footnote on the lab report that said the rental hadn't been used since the AM. Whose side are you on, old man? It's gotten pretty late, Sunshine. Just trying to save us some time where I can. Well, thank you for your service. Well, thank you for your service. Are you seriously buying this crap? Just look at how scrawled, how panicked that note is. You expect me to believe that he was upset over a fidget tubby collection, one that hasn't even been graded. Setting aside Detective Reyes' surprising depth of knowledge when it comes to collectibles, you're correct, they held no real monetary value. It would be odd for Carlos to be so shaken over their loss, but so what? So what? After all, that's not panic you're seeing on that page. No, the only reason that note looks that way is because Carlos is right-handed. Yes, I am. Did they not know that? Oh my god, these police are stupid! What? Shouldn't that have been on my permanent record or something? So the reason why that note looks like Asylum Wall scribbles is just because he had to use his left hand to write it. I tend to think better writing than typing. And I need to get used to using my left anyway. Just thought it could be good practice. Taking that into account alongside the ceramics, your slam dunk confession is looking about as watertight as a fishnet. Okay, fine. Forget about the confession. Congratulations, counselor! You've established that your client's remorseless. Now, let's get back to the reality of the situation. Here are the facts. Oh my god, Rhea, shut up. Look at their faces. We found your client at the scene of the crime. Because he lived there. Wearing a coat covered in the victim's blood, only on one arm. Right next to a big old goddamn gun that just so happened to have his fingerprints on it. Isn't that thing heavy? hold on. Let me go back to the evidence here, real quick. One, the blood is only on his sleeve. The entire thing's not covered with it. Two, I'm pretty sure this gun is heavy. I don't think you can, especially with how he is, the fact that it's his non-dominant hand, I can't see him firing a gun like that if he can't even write. How the fuck did he shoot her with that? Okay, whatever you say, Reyes, whatever. Right next to a big old goddamn gun that just so happened to have his fingerprints on it. That's right, that coat is, what, you're gonna claim it's not his? That he actually wears an extra small? She's trying to bait me in her typical low-key fashion. As the arguments flow, you won't always have the stronger hand. Sometimes the best you can do is hold your tongue and avoid overcommitting. Try to lose as little credit as possible while you wait for more favorable chance. She must have something, no sense in playing into it. Okay, so if I don't have an answer, I might just be able to skip the hand. Okay, that's good to know, because obviously this is going to be give and take. She has to assume the worst with the evidence giving, and credit serves as your HP. Well, I currently have 22. Okay, I understand. We're learning. We're gonna see if we have an answer or not. If we don't have the answer, it might just be best to skip. Something you'd like to ask me, detective? I'm just curious. What'll it be next? What'll it? I think because I'm like trying to make a southern accent, I'm used to talking to southern people. I'm not used to seeing the phrase "what'll it be," and so just "what'll be." So like me reading it and then me just going off like the whole southern. Why is the background glitching? Entertainment value. So right, yeah, no, that phrase kind of like "what'll it be" versus "what'll it be." It sounds wrong because I'm like trying to read it. That's so scuffed. You gonna tell me that he actually wears an extra small? So I want to stay here. No, okay, so he doesn't wear an extra small. Gee, Carlos, do you? No. Yeah? Sure, there's no evil twin you've forgotten to mention. There's no evil twin. No, I'm afraid not. Not even gonna go for mysterious third party at the scene of the crime. To prove his innocence, I will need to get there eventually. But going there now without hard evidence... I can't prove a third party. No, I cannot prove a third party. Because there are no cameras. I have no evidence of a third person at this time. Damn right you don't. It's clear as day in the arcs. No evidence of anyone but Carlos being there in the flat that night. So keep dreaming. It's so obvious she had something there. I wasn't gonna win that hand either way. But at least I didn't overstep and take any more damage than I had to. We're not contesting any of that, detective. My client freely admits to holding that gun. He picked it up in confusion after coming home to find a brutal crime scene. Which was not smart. Hey! But not illegal either. And that's all? He had her blood all over his clothes. Yes, he did. Right. Do you have those clothes on hand, by the way? Lab finished with them a while ago. What are you getting at? It'll be easier just to show you. Would you mind getting them for me? You know what? Sure, I could use the fresh air. Thanks to bullshit in here anyway. And yeah, I saw this room smelled like... Psst, Morgan. What are you doing? My coat's covered in her blood. I remember that much. So doesn't that, like, make me look really bad? Just relax, Carlos. I'm pretty sure that's impossible. You're innocent. And that means having more evidence will always help you, not hurt you. Really? Really? not really. But you have innocent people in prison, people with bad luck, or bad lawyers. People shouldn't count on the truth to come out easy. More often than not, it takes coaxing. What was it that reminded me of? I love Morgan. She's just like a real lawyer. I love her. Alright, here it is. One bloodstained jacket fresh from the lab. So, what's your angle? You gonna tell us this actually just hot sauce? No, that would be silly. She actually thought it over. So, what the hell's your point? Hey, sorry, just got thrown off by the turn of good fortune. What good fortune? You should thank the detective for bringing you your jacket, Carlos. She's just proven your innocence. My client was arrested wearing this coat. He would have been wearing it at the time of the murder. It has the victim's blood on it, who we know died when she was shot in the heart. By a gun that happens to be an old world pre-tagging firearm. And so this coat proves he couldn't have been the shooter. Is there a gas leak in here? No, there's no gunpowder on it. The gunpowder, like the residue on his hand and everything, isn't there. They wouldn't swab for that. They more than likely didn't swab for that because they thought it was an open and shut case. He should have been standing from the doorway when she got shot. They didn't even check for common ballistics? Like, shouldn't you, like, check their hands for, like, gunpowder residue first? Because if they found him there at the crime scene, like, there's gonna be, like... What? Lazy. True, lazy. Throw this case out. Throw this case out, Morgan. Kick him out. In what world does that make any sense? Sense happens to be key here. I just need to draw their attention to what they can. Smell, feel... Smell gunpowder? It's an old world jacket. There's blood. You don't smell gunpowder. Hold on, guys. I know what to do. We save the game if I'm wrong here. Because you can't feel the residue? They have futuristic guns, yes. They can't smell the... Just do me one favor, detective. Tell me what you smell. I don't smell anything except dried blood. Aha! Exactly, the coat smells like blood, but it doesn't smell of cigarettes. That's what I've been smelling! Yes, Detective London, I was smoking earlier. Could you rejoin the conversation? I've been listening. You wanted me to smell the jacket. If you would. Let's see. Huh. No gunpowder. What? What about gunpowder? Oh, don't blame yourself for not noticing. This was before your time. You can't be more than a few years older than me. But not before your partners, it seems. See, gunpowder is weak by today's standards, but it's still volatile stuff, hard to store, prone to misfiring. And when it goes bang, it leaves behind an awful lot of evidence. The hell is she talking about, London? Modern firearms, like the ones we carry, use electricity, magnetism, even air pressure or sound waves. They've got more accuracy, more firepower, less recoil, less noise. And they don't leave behind any residue. Gunpowder residue. You talked my ear off about how difficult it is tracking down a gun that doesn't leave digital traces. But a revolver like this one, it'd leave gunpowder on the skin of whoever fired it for days. So then his coat, if you don't trust your nose, you can check the lab reports. I think if they had found any gunpowder on my client or his clothes, they'd have taken the time to highlight it. Ooh, got him. Get him. Well, whatever. That just means he washed it off after shooting her or changed his clothes. That's not impossible, but it would be pretty pointless. Huh? His jacket and his left hand were blood-soaked when your officers found him. Would he really go through all the effort to get rid of something so subtle as gunpowder residue? And just get the victim's blood all over himself afterwards? In the light of these details, I'd like to formally request that you reconsider the charges Mr. Flats is facing as soon as possible. Whoa. Their faltering now should topple over at any moment. The letter was mostly icing on the cake for them, but that gun is all they had to link Carlos to any of the shootings. So if it looks like he never actually fired the gun, I'll admit, things are a little dicey here at times, but once I was able to get the grasp of the situation, the smaller pieces fell into place easily enough. Not my cleanest work by far, but overall I'd say... Did she get a message? Wait, they actually managed to find it. Something you'd like to share, Detective Reyes? Oh. Damn. I think something just got thrown into my plot here. Damn, updates. You're good. Twisting the truth into knots, making the facts work for you. Thanks. But your luck just ran out, because the net scrubbers found a cam active at the exact moment of the shooting, and right now, I'm staring at the photo of the killer. Wanna bet? A photo of the shooter? If she had that, we wouldn't still be talking. But I doubt she's just pulling this out of her ass. She's got something from the scrubbers. She must be bluffing? I'm gonna say she has something. Because of the way London reacted saying, did they find it? I'm just gonna say she must have something. I'm not sure I follow, Detective. Didn't we establish that there was an optics blackout during the shooting? Sure there was. But this isn't from optics. Oh shit, I just lost HP. Good thing I held my tongue, because I wouldn't be able to prove it otherwise. So even if I said she was bluffing, I don't have a way to prove he was somewhere else. Okay, so I probably would have lost more HP there. So the fact that I only lost one, I think that's good. So that's a good thing, I hope. Okay. I'm following. That was the correct choice. You lose chips either way. You'd lose more chips by claiming she was bluffing. Oh, okay. Thank you for the clarification, Mego. As I thought, these scrubbers must have managed to dig up something from outside the network, which means... Party's over, counselor. Feast your eyes on this. But the face is blacked out. That clock says 9 o'clock. They were arguing. Okay, yeah, time of death is correct. Wait. He has 2 arms. Wait, no. Is that an arm? Guys, is that an arm? Right arm shooting? No, that's a left. That's a left arm. Could be a jacket sleeve. But yeah, no, it's very hard to say because I can't tell. Gun high? But there's also no face. It's also a different style jacket. His jacket was like the high perspective, it's aiming the gun. I don't like this photo. It just seems so wrong. It's the no face is fucking with me. Well, okay, the quality is lacking, and there's this giant mark through the middle of it. Whatever could that be? And yet, there it is. They managed to find a quarter needle of evidence in a whole city block of haystacks. What are the goddamn chances? No, with the scale their tools operate on, I guess the chances are always in their favor. Alright, this isn't good, but it's a far cry from the worst case scenario I envisioned. Is he wearing gloves? Guys, I think he's wearing gloves. Look at that. You can see like the outline of the glove there, the wrist, and then the jacket. Guys, he's wearing gloves. There were no gloves at the crime scene, because the police were there at 9:05, I'm pretty sure. How would you incinerate gloves in 5 minutes without leaving evidence behind? He's wearing gloves. That's a glove. Glove, wrist, jacket. Nothing actually fits? No, this man's wearing gloves. They're stupid. Look at the image. Anyone can see it, y'all. Find the glove. Find it. Go on. Psst, psst, psst. Well, it's a little bit blurry. Don't look at me. I didn't take the damn thing. If it's another one-armed person, the right sleeve should be hanging, not tight or cut. The same way you can claim this doesn't look like your client, they can claim that those aren't gloves. But you can clearly see there's a line there. There's a line, real tiny right there. Anyway. Technically, no one took it. Looks like at the time of the shooting, a neighbor was on their phone. Probably venting about how the crazy couple across the way was acting. But if their phone was on, its camera would be on. And so we managed to get this shot through the window. Where to begin? Far away, unfocused, ultra-low resolution, zoomed in, blurred, color shifted, and so compressed it looks like it's from another century. There are tools that could enhance this image any further, and I could count the pixels on one hand. And you could kiss its admissibility in court goodbye. You can't honestly claim that you can identify my client from this image. And there's no way in hell you could get this past the judge. Yeah, you're probably right, we couldn't. But I think I know a DA that could. Either way, it doesn't seem like your client's leaving this police station anytime soon. That photo. What the hell is happening to me? I think I know a DA that could. Don't be so modest, old man. We have photo evidence of a left-handed shooter standing in the hallway at the same time the whole neighborhood heard a gunshot. And who do we know that had their left hand fingerprints all over that gun? You're referring to my client. You think? We've established that he wasn't wearing his modded arm at all that night, so he must have shot with his left. Yes, but we also established that he's weak with his left side. A left side that had no gunpowder whatsoever. Forensics. Forensics will never be perfect, counselor. Sometimes we miss things. Sometimes you take a walk through the rain, and when you finally get to where you're going, you somehow end up dry. That doesn't mean it didn't rain. All of which is to say, before a judge or jury, photographic evidence outweighs a failed sniff test. Carlos is innocent. I know he is. But that photo shows a left-handed shooter. Carlos is innocent. The photo is real. If both are true, that means the photo doesn't show what it appears to show. So, at a loss of words? Never! I'm just confused about one thing. Where was this photo taken from exactly? Exactly. Positional data is usually only accurate to the nearest public router. If we DN on the phone's owner and ask them where, why bother with any of that? Ballistics and common sense tells us that the perp shot from the room's doorway. The front entrance of the apartment. Oh, I see. Where did it come from? That's the window. Hold on, guys. The mirror was upright. So I guess because it was crooked, it would have been over, like, behind her then? Yeah, no. I'm trying to understand this. Like, we can tell, like, it came from over there with the mirror. But flat, he says that it's over here on this upper wall, is what I'm trying to point out. Like... So, the jug, the mirror, and the chair. We're just gonna take a look at this. We're all just gonna make sure we're all on the same page, because... So there's the jug, the chair, and the mirror, all on that back wall. The clock is over there, but that would have been straight in the corner. So it would have been like over here. So I guess it could have from that angle. Maybe, probably. That's probably how they caught it. The front entrance of the apartment faces to the south. There's a hallway that runs back to the bedroom. We're looking straight at the shooter, so it's pretty obvious that this was taken from across the north window. From the north? If this is from the north, then why can't we clearly see the... It's not that complicated. The neighbor who got the shot must have lived on the other side of the street. So we're looking to the bedroom from the north window. If she's wrong, I could seize the opportunity to turn the tide. She's wrong. The photo was taken from the west. I'm afraid that's simply not possible, Detective. This photo has to have been taken from the west. What kind of bluff is that supposed to be? The good detectives are misinformed here, and I need to take advantage of it. Time to press the initiative. The hell do you mean this was taken from the west? The autopsy tells us the victim was shot in the doorway. Your officer's ARCS data tells us the precise location of everything in the room at the time they arrived. And the photo was shown at the exact moment of the shooting. And you now raise the ante on a hand up. Current max. Answering wrong, you'll lose more credits. But answer it correctly, you can bank more credit for trickier hands down the line. And altogether that tells us this photo must have been taken through the west window. As long as you consider the statement given. Just take one look at the clock at the photo. The clock, what about it? The clock, huh? Seems like London's got an idea. If he's mistaken, I could pounce on it to keep my tempo high. This photo was taken right before the shooting, so... Wait, don't tell me the time of death was wrong. He's wrong? No, the time of death is correct. That's a good question, Detective London, but the answer is no. The autopsy, the clock, the neighbors all agree the time of death was 9 p.m. Right, no mistaking that. So then what the hell are you on about? There's a clock on the wall in this photo, analog style, and it reads 9 o'clock. Oh! The mirror's fallen, yeah. But the issue is that if it was shot from the north window, you wouldn't be able to read the clock. You'd have to be looking from the outside inward. "9 p.m. was the time of the shooting." The hell's so special about that? Nothing. There's nothing odd about the time the clock reads, but you remember there being a clock in that room? What? Actually, I don't recall there being a clock. That makes sense. You wouldn't recall seeing a clock. Because when the police secured the scene, the clock had already been knocked onto the floor. And the only clock in that room is in the northeastern corner. Yeah, my client has informed me that before the crime, it was hung up on the eastern wall. Like so. I love how confidently she just presents this picture. Like, oh yes, this is the correct thing. Aha! Checkmate! My scribbles mean something. Y'all are stupid. Why did you ask this question? Damn, lazy detectives. What the hell is that supposed to be? An artistic rendition. It's, very distinct. If you had information on how the crime scene was before the shooting, why didn't you just add it to the arts? And show you my hand? Just because discovery law compels us to share info, doesn't mean we have to play fair, detective. Split my mind. I'll do that now. The important thing is, if that clock was on the eastern wall before the shooting occurred, then this photo must be looking through the western window to see it. Don't start getting ahead of yourself. The victim was shot at 9 p.m. I'm not arguing that fact. The same time this photo was taken of the shooter. You want to claim that clock's still on the eastern wall where it would have been knocked down during the fighting. You've got your logic backwards, detective. Your precious photo shows the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. And there's one other piece of evidence that proves exactly how the cards fell. The crime scene, the shards fell on top of the victim. Because if she had fallen onto the shards, they'd be under her. No, they were on top. The glass shards, what about them? Nothing much, really. Only that they're on top of the victim's body, and not under it. And if the glass fell on top of the victim's body, that would mean that she was dead on the ground before the room got trashed. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone trash the room afterwards? That's a good question, Carlos. Luckily, it's the detectives who have to delve into the minds of the criminally insane, and not us. Tell me, detectives, were there any signs of a struggle at the other crime scenes? Other crime scenes? No, nothing like that. Those attacks would have been over in a matter of seconds. So, what did you think when you saw the mess in the bedroom? That this was personal and things had gotten complicated. Shit happens. Shit does happen, detective. But in this case, it seems there's been a general misconception about the order in which shit happened. So what if the room didn't get tossed all over until afterwards he still shot her? And we have the photo right here. And I'm glad you do, detective, because that photo proves my client's innocence. Proving that it wasn't my client who pulled the trigger is difficult, but maybe more importantly for all of us, time-consuming. Thanks to your photo, I can instead prove that it couldn't have been my client who pulled the trigger. Because the man in the photo can't possibly be Carlos. Like hell it can't! The glass shards prove the room was pristine at the time. My bad. Wrong accent. The glass shards prove that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. And we know that until the room was tossed, that clock was on the eastern wall, which means that the photo of the shooter was taken from the west. Back to this shit, that's impossible. The only hallway in that apartment runs from north to south. The only person with prints on that gun is your client. And the only fact that matters is that he used it to murder 6 innocent people. You're a very honest person, detective. Excuse me? That's why you're such a shitty gambler. You played your cards too early, and now I can steal the pot right out from under you. You're right about the hallway's orientation. You're right about the prints. And this HK figure has claimed 6 lives. But we aren't looking at the hallway in the photo. What? What we're seeing is the mirror. What is that? You're trying the glass shard skin? Sort of. By the way, do you recall where those glass shards came from? Yeah, I'm sure they came from a standing mirror. A mirror that, at the time of the shooting, stood across the room from the western window. But then that would mean, at the angle from that viewpoint, it would reflect the hallway. You get them, Morgan. These corrupt cops just have him sign the confession, blah, 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 blah. Y'all don't even have a fucking clue what you're talking about. So, we're not seeing a shooter with a gun in their left hand. It's in their right hand, because it's a reflection. We're seeing a killer take aim with their right arm. That also means the clock says 3. No, never mind. This is a reflection. Be backwards. Gamblers always win. Never mind, I'm stupid. I was like, wait, no. I'm supposed to be looking at a reflection. I understand. The clock would look like that. I understand, guys. Please don't at me. I get it. I'm a little bit slow, the blonde shows. And we all know my client hasn't had a working right arm in a number of weeks. And he hasn't worn his rental since this morning. So I mean what I said about the photo. I'm glad that it was recovered, because it just proved my client couldn't possibly have committed this crime. Get out of my face. Get out. That should be the end of it. Except it looks like Detective Reyes really is a novice gambler. Sunk cost has got its teeth in her now, clawing up her spine, whispering wounded pride in her ear. It's a cold sweat, hot palms kind of fever. The impotent, irrational fury of losing something you thought was guaranteed yours. But lucky for you, Detective, I'm well-versed in shock therapy. You can look dissatisfied, Detective Reyes. That's one word for it. Then allow me to put a nice bow on everything for you. In summary, yo, I get to, like, do the comic thing in Danganronpa where you get to, like, put everything together. So excited. My client's so-called confession was just a note to self. The police found him in shock, reeling from the death of his girlfriend, and arrested him for being next to a gun he forensically couldn't have fired. After being confronted with these facts, you received a photographic evidence of the exact moment of the shooting. And instead of utilizing said photo to track down the real killer, you tried to claim it depicted my client, a man without the requisite limb, standing in an architecturally impossible hallway. Wait, so I don't get to put this together myself? Huh? I'm so upset. One of my favorite things in Danganronpa was, like, the big manga sheet that you got to fill out, or the comic sheet, where you have to, like, put the scenes together and, like, watch it replay out. Damn. Yeah, I really need to play Danganronpa with you guys. My obsession from high school will be seen. I know way too much lore. Way too much. I got y'all, though. He could have had a backup arm. He could have stolen one. A little stubbornness can be charming, but this kind of desperation is ugly. It's getting late, time to bare my fangs. A bit. That's the best you've got? Even bare bones prosthetic off the black market needs to be attuned to an individual's nervous system. He'd have to bring it into a clinic, which would have left a record of his shoulder OS. A record you won't find. And he'd still have to somehow have gotten rid of it before the police arrived. SOP at the scene of a violent crime calls for a full spectrum scanning of the entire building and 100 meters around it, minimum. So where, Detective Reyes, did he manage to hide a cybernetic arm from your drones in the time between the shooting and his arrest? Yeah, where is it, Detective Reyes? Well... Any objections? Detective? God. Damn it! Hell yeah, boys, we got our first case. Woo woo! I love Danganronpa. I have an obsession with Naito Kawaeda. I know all of the lore. I have an actual issue. Please don't get into, like, my special interests from high school. I used to cosplay that lunatic. I would. You did it, congratulations. Thank you. I am really enjoying this game. This is good vibes. I got, like, when I saw this game, I immediately got the bundle with, like, episode 1 and 2, and I wish listed episode 3. Like, I saw it and I went, there's no way, this is a bad game. I love this, like, art style so much. I love it. Show me your hands, Flat. You're uncuffing me. In light of the evidence, we have no reason to hold you. Now I gotta call the DA and tell her I made a mistake. Not we made a mistake, huh? Listen, kid. You should know. Detective? Lost my train of thought. But hey, your attorney's a real tiger, and she just fought like hell for you. Make sure you thank her properly. Public defense doesn't pay that well. Yeah. That's kind of you to say, Detective, but my work is its own reward. Heh. Sure. Feel exactly the same, Counselor. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I didn't actually ever see him in a cup, so... we just kind of imagine that they're there. I just assume, like, his arm was, like, tethered to the chair. What happens now? I'll have to speak with the DA about the dismissal. And there's still some paperwork we'll need to go through. But basically, you're free to go. Congrats! You get to leave the casino with your kneecaps intact. Yay? But what am I supposed to do? The detectives will continue their investigation. The investigation into Heartbreak, huh? Yes. When the authorities are satisfied with the examination of the body, she'll be handed over to the next of kin. And then you can make funeral arrangements. No, that's not what Diana's gone. Diane being gone is bad enough. But a serial killer? It's like she died of the flu. It doesn't happen anymore. People die of the flu all the time, but... I know what you mean. I can't make sense of it. What am I supposed to do? Hell if I know. There are some contacts I could give you. Services, professionals, doctors. No, you've done more than enough for me. When you got here, I was too tired to even defend myself, to try to convince them that I didn't. You saved me. Thank you. You're welcome, Carlos, but it's my job to. No, I mean, thank you for not asking. For not asking if I killed her. Oh, Carlos. I didn't need to ask. I knew you were innocent from the start. Of course he was. After all. Am I Heartbreak? Oh! Well, since she has the jacket. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. She was... The blood's always different. Heart's always in the same place, easy to find, hard to miss. But the blood's always different. A flowering stain unfurling toward an invisible sun. A perfectly unique bloom. Only one for each of us. A Rorschach test with singular universal meaning, vitality at its climax. Bursting forth into a red fractal consisting solely of an infinite the end. But the comical thud of a body hitting the floor has its own kind of lowbrow appeal. Smoking to cover the gunpowder. You're right! They even mentioned that tobacco's not much here anymore. Oh, what's that spinning at the top? That just lets me know where the menu is. It's just UI design. Bullet number 6 of 6. The gun's empty. It's useless to me now. May as well leave it. Feels like a waste, but... whatever. Finding the ammo was almost enough of a hassle to outweigh the advantages. I could sell an untagged gun for a fair bit of cash. But cash can't buy you peace of mind. Do I just chuck the gun and that hits everything? Oh, the revolver? Oh shit, you're right. I just assumed that was because it's the smoking gun of the thing, you know? The murder weapon? Smoking gun? Oh. I'll see myself out. Oh, don't look so surprised, lady. Flopping around in the dark in here must have only been able to see my silhouette. Did she think I was her boyfriend? Back for an encore of enthralling conversation? Can't ask her now. Hey. Yeah, did you hear that? These old pieces are so goddamn loud. And people aren't even familiar enough with the way they sound anymore to know to run the other way. Probably rouse half the neighborhood. But I didn't see anything I could use even as a partial suppressor on the way in. Could they really not afford some throw pillows? I used the other 5 bullets in outdoor spaces in small spheres of blind opportunity that the city's eyes couldn't think to pierce. Cramped places, usually full of trash. But this room, as cheap as it looks, is at least clean, organized even. So the corpse adds a certain satisfying contrast. Except, there's shit on the floor. By the window, there's broken pieces of something fragile and tacky. It's fine. It's just one thing out of place here. Actually, it's not fine. It's actually really irritating. I kick over the stupid goddamn mirror. 5% crime scenes, each of them not a speck of evidence, nothing to go on. And for the final shot, there just has to be some pile of shit in the corner ruining everything? I kick the wall. Something falls from it, probably more tasteless bullshit. I toss over the chair, knock the urn, tear into the sheets with my frustration, and try to savor the shredding. If it can't be clean, I'll just have to lean into the messy angle. At least it will be consistent. This was all so stupid. Honestly, I'm not the ego-driven type. In fact, I pride myself on humility. Now, was it satisfying when the first 3 went down with single shots? Yes. But so what? I'm not made of stone. After that, I did start to actively aim for the heart, but... ugh. Heartbreak killer? Really? Don't people have anything better to do with their time? What kind of miserable, lifeless warriors would obsess over something that's none of their business? All the threads and breakdowns and goddamn theory crafting. And all for the Heartbreak Killer. Sounds like a soap opera villain from a season where the writers were on strike. I'd feel insulted by the label, but no, that's someone else's name. They came up with it. They spread it. They marketed it. Heartbreak's got nothing to do with me. He's just some reclusive, lonely, socially impotent loser who shot 6 people because... well, I'm sure people will come up with something. Okay, guys. Hold on, 1 second. My phone, my camera's linked to is dying. Let me plug it in real quick. Oh, this hurts. Wow. I love Morgan so much. She's my favorite serial killer. I'm sure they'll come up with something. Heartbreak? Wait, are you trying to tell me to check the profile? Oh, there we go. Heartbreak, uh-huh. Criminal defense attorney, high places, gambling, guns, hobby, batting cages. Did she... She was probably so upset at the picture. Wait, before she was like, wait, they added a comma? They added a comma? Wait. No. Damn it, guys. They didn't do it. Oh, it's on the Heartbreak one. It's on the Heartbreak one. Wait, I love that. I love this game. Where are the devs at? I need to leave a review. I never leave Steam reviews. I should leave a review. I had so much fun with this. I love her. She's amazing. This is one of the best twists that I've ever, like, seen, except for, Hold on, I'm trying to pause. Who was that killer? Who was, Kaede being an accidental kill in Danganronpa V3? That one where they just pinned it on somebody random. That was a good twist. I like that twist. But this is funny as hell. I love this. That he got rejected 1 too many times or whatever. Me, I killed those people because I saw them, and I wanted to. And I've killed a lot more than just 6. At least the room's thoroughly trashed now. If I just walked away after seeing that mess by the window, it would have irritated me to no end. And now that it doesn't match the MO of the last 5 perfectly, it'll irritate the cops to no end instead. Good riddance, Heartbreak. You enjoy your 15 minutes in the spotlight. Really savor it. I'm going home. The air is weighty tonight, thick, energized. and heavily foreshadowed summer rain I can feel on every hair. They call this kind of humidity oppressive, but I disagree. The warm tension on your skin, like in those short moments just after the shower turns off, when the steam lingers. Yeah, it's always most comfortable right afterwards. Maybe there's no disagreement to be had. Oppressive things can be comforting too. Only the guilty ones run. I don't know about that. But I know I've never felt guilty about any of this. And I walk. 5:01 a.m. Sorry, using my left is still... That's okay. You can just initial on those spots. I took a scenic route home, courtesy of our fine city's sprawling public transportation. Got in a bit after 11 p.m. Had myself a thorough shower, drank a glass of milk, did some stretching. Made sure my phone was on. Time went by evenly. Around 1:40 a.m., a posting for public defender work came up. Decent rate, since it was so late and so urgent. I had wagered correctly that the boyfriend would have enough sense to ask for a lawyer, and enough debt that he'd need to be provided one. So she stalked these people. Gamble. How to start gambling. A gambler with a system must be, to lesser or greater extent, insane. Did that update flat? That's sizable. That up... Oh, wager. Does it under terms? All I had to do was stay awake. There wasn't much competition after 1 in the morning. Okay, where else? Here, and here. How did I phrase it earlier? Criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. Why wouldn't I take on a job where I already knew more than the cops? It would have been easy to convince Carlos to plead out. I would have gotten paid the same too. But easy is dangerous. Carlos was, of course, innocent, so his conviction would never be airtight. There would be doubts, questions, appeals, maybe even fans, depending on his looks. More attention on HK and his crimes, more headaches. A cold case rotting in the very far back of the public's awareness is always preferable to one open and shut in a haste. Now, with no more murders matching HK's MO, there won't be any additional public pressure to find a culprit. Now, Heartbreak can just starve to death, out of sight, out of mind, like any other fluke in the system. Almost done. Getting involved with this case is intimate. Getting involved with the case this intimately does have its risks. Hell, I might have even overdone things here or there. Like lighting up a smoke inside of an interrogation room just to doubly make sure I still didn't spill gunpowder myself. That London fellow seemed more fixated on it than I would have liked. But obviously everything turned out rosy, and it's worth it for the finality of it all. Seeing the authorities' failings from the best seat in the house? That's just a bonus. Thanks again, Morgan, for everything. I'm sure Diane is grateful too. Funny. I didn't even know her name. Ooh. Something the matter? No, sorry, it's just... I was mad when I left the apartment. I know she was too. So when she died... Death was instantaneous, Carlos. I can't imagine that she was in any pain. In fact, I guarantee she was dead before she hit the ground. No, I know, but I just keep thinking that she must have died angry at me. And she must have died hating me. Do I do the thing? Do I do it? I really want to do it. Present evidence? Can always save? True. Present evidence. To tell you the truth, Carlos, there's something I've been wondering about myself. What is it? Something I noticed in the ARC's data that I didn't quite understand. A piece of the puzzle I couldn't fit in anywhere else. But maybe you can make— oh, it's the pillbox! Oh, so when she heard Morgan at the door, she thought, oh, it was Carlos, he forgot his medicine. She was bringing him his pillbox. Oh. She was concerned. What is the— where did you find that? That pill organizer was found on the victim. She had it grasped in her hand when she died. Obviously, the police added it to the ARCs, but it was quickly ruled irrelevant. Seems like it contained triprexazone, prescribed to help mothers with phantom itches. They're small tablets, and those are tricky clasps for a pill organizer. Could be hard to handle with an unsteady hand. No one will ever know what she was feeling when she died. Even if they did, feelings are complicated. You can feel angry, happy, and sad all at the same time. But as far as facts are concerned, it would appear that when she died, what she was doing was setting out your medications for the week. To my eyes, anyway. "5:01 a.m., June 5th, 2086. Long night. That was too far just now. Practically rubbing it in his face. It's not like I care about his feelings, I doubt I'll ever even see him again. But overstepping like that is pure hubris. And hubris invites a downfall. So why did I even bother? It was the last piece of the puzzle, I suppose. I'll just need to show more restraint next time. Though there won't be a next time for Heartbreak. The gun's in custody, there's no more bullets left. There won't be a 7th victim, there won't be any more leads to pursue. The media will move on to their next obsession. I'll move on to my next demo. And no one will found you. District Attorney Rockford. Sorry, can I try that again? I'm so fried. By all means. Counselor Morgan. Morning, noon, or night, you're always so put together. Thank you. I don't get it. How do you sleep at night? Pardon? You do white noise, aromatherapy, whatever you're doing. I need to steal it. God. Must have bags under my eyes dark enough for the dumpsters. Assistant District Attorney Emma Rockford. She's the prosecutor, the lawyer who argues for the state in court trying to prove a defendant's guilt. And despite her sometimes unkempt appearance, she's probably the sharpest person to fill the position in decades. I should know, since I haven't beaten her once. Worse yet, she has the remarkable ability to compartmentalize all of that adversarial energy and only bring it out in the courtroom. It's part of what makes her good at her job. and hard for me to read. Guys? Guys? Let's pull up something real quick. You see this picture? Brown hair down here? Brown hair. Hold on. Brown hair, brown eyes. What are we looking at here? I think I figured out why she was upset at brown-haired, brown-eyed women. I think I just figured it out. A goddess. Sounds normal. Yep. Anyway. Should I buy a new mattress? What have they got you doing at this ungodly hour? What have they got you doing at this ungodly hour, Emma? Let's see, Rockford. Cat person? Yes. Idle Savant Stars, interesting. Oh, well, actually, I'm here for you. Me. Your client was a suspect in the Heartbreak killings. That's my case. Well, you must have been relieved finding out that you won't have to go to trial against me. No? Why'd I be worried about going up against you? It's always the unintended barbs with her. So you're working with those detectives? Yeah, London and the new girl Reyes, they've been reporting to me in preparation for trial. Preparation for trial? That seems ambitious. I guess they gave you the rundown. They've been doing everything they can, but it's hard to catch a killer who leaves behind so little. It's hard to kill while leaving so little behind. So Reyes told you they had HK in custody and you popped out of bed excited to run down here? Haha, hardly. I haven't slept in 40 hours. Too much on my mind. So when I heard about the case with a single female victim shot through the heart, my ears perked up. That's about all. Oh? Does she suspect me? I mean, Carlos Flat, a serial killer? Yo, is this my L? Am I a white Yagami and this is L? Hold up, I have to dodge this bitch. The same serial killer that's outsmarted the state for weeks. He's not using his middle name. He was found with the murder weapon. But I can answer in any number of ways. It could have been Flat. Okay, for one, it can't have been him, because the fingers don't bend. That may be true, but then I glanced at the report. You glanced at it? No gunpowder residue on him or his clothes. Right. Too remorseful, too apologetic in that note. Whatever it was about. His dominant arm modded with documented sensitivity issues. Never could have made ditch shots clean, not without getting close enough to leave scorch marks. Not to mention he's too tall for the ballistics entry angles, and probably too heavy not to leave imprints. She got all of that from a glance? Oh no, she is L. You're back? Aldrich, you missed I'm actually the murderer, and I might be fucked. But I'm sure a competent lawyer like yourself pointed that out the minute you walked in there. Oh, of course! Worst part, she's not even being sarcastic. Yeah, of course. It couldn't have been him. Long-term relationship, physically imposing, argumentative, so not the type to bottle things up. He didn't match the profile. Profile? Yeah, right, sorry. You probably never heard of it. I know what a goddamn profile is. A profile is a construction of a criminal's psychology based on evidence from their crime. Kind of fallen out of fashion for the last few decades. Not much guess about the why when 99 times out of 100 the who is caught on camera. Or before they even leave the house. I've had to find some real fossils and oddballs to get advice on how to go about it, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. Let me see, terms. Profiling, how to delete profile. I try to get your data profiled. Let Valentine take the reign with your automatic... Anything else? So, this profiling, it's some kind of investigative technique? The theory is that crime can tell you something about the nature of the person who committed it. Stabbing, overkill, points to passion, rage, lust. They probably knew their victim. Poisoning guns, meanwhile, suggests they can't overpower their victims physically. And then there's things you can assume about nearly all serial offenders. Childhood trauma, prior criminal record, few to no meaningful attachments. There's a lot of recurring themes in their stories. The detectives say HK doesn't leave evidence. So how much can his crimes possibly tell you? That he's diligent, almost perfect, highly intelligent, painstakingly organized, and with enough criminal connections to get his hands on an untagged firearm. It's rare to see her this animated outside the courtroom. It's almost like she's enjoying herself. A sheltered house cat who's picked up the scent of a mouse for the first time. A lone wolf, educated, but all of her playfully lethal instincts coming to life. Probably overqualified or undervalued. Now, I'm not thrilled about the fact that in a metaphor, I would be the... Know what I mean? Definitely. And considering the marksmanship, the detective said that HK would have needed insider information on optics. Does that mean heartbreaks in law enforcement? Never in 10 billion years. Oh. Antisocial, independent, despises authority. That'd be like a stallion applying for a job at a merry-go-round. They'd be kicking kids in the head after the first full rotation. Right, that's exactly how I'd put it. There must be some connection to the police, though. Maybe secondary or tertiary. Tertiary? These types can't help but insert themselves. Insert themselves? I do not I don't do anything even resembling that. Wait, if HK's not a cop, how do they know about the blackout timing? Crime, meta, statistics analysis, probably. Pardon? Take the emergency response times from across the city and map them out. Look for brief spikes and delays, chart out the dip-ins. Sorry, technical, I know. But all the requisite data is publicly available. With a map, a spreadsheet, a calculator, anyone could reverse engineer the timing if they wanted to. That is such an unpleasant thought, Emma. It's pronounced, tertiary? Okay. Thank you. Hopefully I said that right. Tertiary. I learned a new word. It's time to Google. Tertiary. A third order rank or stage of development. Okay, yep, makes sense. Got it. So now, with that in mind, it does fit very well in context. Google. Always helping confirm context clues. Heartbreaks MO. But at least this heartbreak maniac will slow down now that he's lost his weapon. He didn't lose it. He chose to leave it behind. That tells me he's confident he can just do fine without it. And that makes me even more certain that these aren't his only kills. Were there other shootings with the same MO? No, not that I found. Are there victims that fit the description? No, but I'm not overly focused on the victim's appearance anyway. I mean, these 6 victims all look like each other, but they also look like a lot of people. Like you. That's true. Oh, ugh. They kinda look like me. Oh, shit! Do they? Sure. What? You don't see it? I hadn't thought about it. Point is, no one can kill that cleanly when it's their first time. Getting things that perfect takes practice. So I know that HK must have had a lot more than 6 occasions to practice Morgan, and that's why I think Heartbreak is a misnomer. Time to Google. We're Googling again. Isn't incorrect, inappropriate, misleading name. Got it. So they titled them wrong. Understood. We're learning new words here, guys. You've got something catchier in mind? I just don't think shooting them in the heart has any particular significance. If anything, it's a testament to their accuracy and their cold-blooded efficiency. The best possible use of 6 untagged bullets. 6 kills guaranteed, no matter what kind of life support mods they were packing. Their real signature isn't the bullets or the gun, it's the perfection. That's hard to wrap your head around. I'm saying that these 6 murders were just a fluke, a slip-up, a mistake? Exactly, a mistake. They got too clean, too efficient, and now they've got the public's attention. It's no wonder they're so pissed. Are you talking about the crime scene? Yeah, I mean, probably threw the detectives for a loop, right? Based on what you said, I don't blame them. Whoever trashed that room doesn't seem like the smooth operator they've been describing. On the contrary, I don't follow. This was the last bullet, their last shot. The other 5 were perfect. So if anything was out of place this time around, they must have thrown one hell of a temper tantrum. You make them sound like a child. Childish, and cowardly, and two-faced. Someone who hates to lose almost as much as they love to win. Your profile tell you all that? That? No. That part just takes one to know one. Are you a serial killer too? Are we the same? Oh? So to summarize, you're looking for a cold-blooded, faceless, perfectionist killer who you think has no persistent MO or victim type. In a city with an 8-digit population? Well, good luck. I don't need luck. I only need more information. Well, I'm sure the city will be happy to provide you with more resources. No, Morgan. I mean, I need more crime scenes. Oh. Sad truth is, if Heartbreak walked away today, I'd never catch them. Only way my net narrows is if they keep piling up bodies. Not a very fair trade, is it? No, it isn't. But getting screwed over is a given. It's a deal with the devil. Fair enough. Oof. Okay, that rant was pretty morbid and detailed. I need to get out of here, or more sleep. Or sleep less, but harder. You think a higher thread count would help? Don't worry about it, I've always happened to listen to you ramble. It's a lot more pleasant than having you having to face you in the courtroom. Sorry, but that's the adversarial process. No hard feelings, yeah? And no hard feelings. We're both just doing what we do. I could use a cup of coffee. How about you? Don't tempt me. If you fall asleep first onto the table, I won't even take a picture. Okay. Just don't expect this to make a difference next time. We're at each other's throats. Heartbreak won't claim any more victims. In 2 weeks, the media will have moved on to the next sensation. And the police will have moved on to the cases they actually stand a chance of closing. It's what people do. But Emma is different. She'll set it aside and work a dozen other cases, never bringing it up. But a private corner, that frustratingly sharp mind of hers will continue to whittle away at it. Never finishing, but never quitting either. I can't afford to take my eyes off of her. As long as that's the case, I may as well try to enjoy the view. Episode 0, end. Alright. Is there, if I click, anything happen? Triple dots. More dots. Is this, okay, does anybody know if this is episode 1? Because I don't want to continue if this is episode 1. Does anybody know? This is a teaser? Okay. I wanted to make sure that we weren't hopping into episode 1. Because I wanted to start that, not when my phone is going to, like, start shorting out in a second because it overheats. Alright, triple dots. Which means you're going to be living with my friend for a while. For how long? I'm sorry, I don't know. There's no need to look that upset over it. My face barely moved. It may as well have been a blatant pout from where I'm sitting. Yeah, like that. This friend of yours, they're trustworthy? Absolutely. In fact, I trust them more than anyone. Hey, come on, it'll be fun. Really? Really, educational too. I think you could stand to learn a lot from someone like Morgan. Ooh, yes, show the credits. I had so much fun with this game. I honestly really like this game. You're forced to mini before getting into episode 1, thank God. Oh, I'll go through all the credits first. We want to, like, show off everything because this is really well done. Hold on. Written, directed, developed by whoever this man is. He is a good writer. I love the fact that we get to play the serial killer. Faith, dude, I can see why. Now let's see. All of these people? Jealous. Special thanks to Adrienne, Anna. These might be like Patreon people. I don't know. Dev Talk, Philly Game Mechanics, our friends and family, you the players. Full attributions available at Made with Unity. Danny Novel, .tween, Pro Builder, Shapes. A game by Int Circle. Of the Devil, episode 0. And he shall appear. So I can say one thing, I did automatically guess from the title. When I started this, the camera thing just based off of that. Whoops, I did mention that I play a lot of I used to play a lot of Danganronpa, and if I didn't have access to the game because I couldn't afford it, I watched people play that game religiously. So I'll probably end up playing that on stream soon. It'll probably be like the worst speedrun ever. I don't remember where to get the different bullet effects that I cheated. How did I cheat? You can literally see the little like notifications in the corner pop up when I do something for the first time. Oh. You're the smartest person I know, Morgan, when it comes to people. Personally, I think it's cool to bring something that thought into the world. Is this episode 1? You're a criminal defense attorney and we're at a crime scene. I think I can guess what happens next. Never stolen. I've never stolen anything that wasn't already compromised. Little teaser? Okay. That's what all. Work hard and the company will have you set for life. And after too. Can't tell you how many musicians I've seen screwed over by a big smile and fat signing bonus. So that's not just a lawyer job thing, you dress like a doorman on the weekends too? Compared to the determining cause of death is like a breath of fresh air. The company wheels don't stop spinning for anything. We can't keep this quiet for very long, but it's a million times more likely than the alternative. That heartbreak could never stop themselves from killing. Father said that you owed him. I didn't do anything out of the goodness of my heart. But when I take a job, I never half-ass it. Of the Devil, episode 1. Oh. An Idle Mind. Please don't send me in. Debs, don't do it. My euros. Okay. No, I googled the solution. Why would I Google the solutions? Episode 0. Results. 2 articles. Got all 6 profiles. 18 key terms. 16 pieces of evidence. 30 credit earned. Congratulations! You finished episode 0 with 30 credit. You've unlocked the concept art and bonus scenarios based on your highest score for episode 0. Thus have a total of 30 remaining store credit to spend on phone charms, case cards based on the highest credit, which you finished this episode. Bonus scenarios. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I love this. Oh, that's great. Okay. I love that scene too. Okay, guys. Let's see. Yeah, I am very glad about that. Oh, and they changed this too? Nice. Bonuses. No, where's the case? I want to change my phone case. Where? Phone case. How do I do this? Settings? We will deal with that later. Alright, guys. Access the phone, the extras menu? Okay, so, bonuses, and then, escape is phone. Okay. Close phone title. Customize phone. Oh. Episode 1 on High Roller? What's High Roller? Oh my god. Yes, I love her. Hold on. We're just gonna make it look like Morgan's phone. There we go. There we go. We have the emo. Iron Man mode, you can't save scum. You also lose more chips. Oh, I want to try that so bad now. I'm so excited. You should have told me that. This is great. I love that. Alright. Thank you everyone for stopping by and watching. For those of you on stream right now, I'm just gonna wrap up my recording, so give me just 1 second and then I'm gonna go find something else to play. So, you always play on High Roller? I wish I knew High Roller was a thing. Now I do. Was that a thing for second episode? We will talk about this after I close out the recording. 1 second. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed episode 0, and I will be playing more of this. Remember to leave a like if you like the video, leave a dislike if you dislike it, leave a comment if you were expecting any of the twists, because I know I think the only one I wasn't expecting is her being the killer, but I did guess a couple other things earlier on. So yeah, remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and follow me on Twitch at null_element if you want to watch me live either there or here on YouTube. Thank you everyone, and I will see you guys next time. Episode 0 doesn't have High Roller. Okay, okay. Got it. I'm so excited about this. Good shrimp. Honestly, love the game. I have thoughts. We're gonna sit here. Hold on, I'm gonna like make my little make me bigger on the screen like I usually am. Oh, hold on, where am I at? This me? This is me. Okay. Okay, usually I'm a little bit bigger on the screen. But that's okay. So, get a drink. Fascinating. I'm so fascinated by this. I do have a drink next to me. I was drinking it periodically. I was wishing for the twist of her not being the killer. Yo. Honestly, I think it's really neat actually being to play as the killer and trying to get by things. Let's see. I do have some thoughts. 1, solid art style. I love it. I'm glad that it doesn't blend into all of the other, like, visual novels out there where I'm pretty sure, like, a lot of the newer ones have AI, and I'm not a fan of that. I love the fact that you can actually see their, like, concept art. Let's go back. Let's go back. I love that. Please show me the scuffed concept art that people have for things. Look at this. I love that scene. Like, this is great. Oh, dude, I love this. I do like how you can see, like, some of the earlier versions where they were, like, trying, like, with the hair, and then they even, like, showed how the hair works. I also just love outfits like this. I'm a sucker. London was solid. I didn't know what voices to give them at first, so... like, I love this. Oh, so she always had 2 different eyes. I do like how the eye patch does cover up a cybernetic eye as well, so it doesn't get annoying. Oh my goodness. He started out so different. Oh my goodness. They definitely... Honestly, I kinda like this hair, too. I'm a fan of this hair. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Okay, hold on, guys, I'm in the way of something. I'm in the way. Hold on. Let me get off the screen. Look at her in this corner. I love that. Dude, I really do too. Like, when I saw that, I was just like, there's no way that isn't intentional. Like, the moment that I was like, oh shit, this is the other one, she knew. There's no way she doesn't know. She just can't confirm it. I love the android. The android's gonna be my best friend. Oh my god, a heart fake killer. Oh my goodness. I love this. I love this vibe. Oh yeah, no, I'm convinced because she did say it takes one to know one. Alright, guys. So Morgan is the killer. Morgan is the heartbreak killer, confirmed. I did... The moment that, like, the pill case wasn't brought up in the case, I knew something was wrong. Another thing was that there was never, like, an altercation mentioned, and I could have swore up and down that previously it was mentioned that the guy had, like, previous accounts of, like, being disruptive, but not violent. So I was just like, wait a second, this one isn't him. Why was this place trashed? I understand why it was trashed out. I can't blame her. I think they're both two different killers. But I don't know yet. Anyway, so, I don't want to start episode 1 tonight. No, Kishinton, like not like this. I think the prosecutor will try to frame you. I have so many theories. Don't at me. I unironically have so many theories on what to continue, but the issue is like my phone is gonna start overheating in a second. Because it is connected to VBridger, so I'm gonna have to swap over. Why are you pinging me? Kishinton, I'm reading. Yes, I see. The prosecutor will try to frame you. I don't think she will. You said not to? Oh yeah, not in Discord. Oh, don't at me. Oh yeah, my bad. Alright, I have to be mean, not like this. Alright, now I'm probably gonna go find something else to play, and I will be coming back to this next week. During this week, I will be, posting a full edited VOD of my episode 0 playthrough on, whenever I get it edited. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get a thumbnail from my, thumbnail person, because I did not take any screenshots. No, I edit the long videos. Moon edits the shorts. That's a Moon thing. Because I don't want to pay him that much. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Let's go find something else. Oh, hold on. Let's turn off that screen real quick. Am I good on intermission? Oh. Well, that ain't right. Let's find out. There we go. When did I get an intermission screen? I don't think I ever actually used this, but that's fine. That's wild. What? Did I pay Moon? Of course I pay Moon. I can't edit. I'm also broke. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the follow, Abrasive Car. Not wanting to pay Moon so you regulate is a work, to the lesser works? No. So the issue is how much he charges, because I'm gonna be sending him at least 3 hours worth of footage altogether. So what's gonna happen is, more than likely, the price for, like, how much footage is gonna go up. And I don't have that money. Otherwise, I would, like, fork this over to somebody that's not me. So what I do instead is I pay him for the shorts, because they're quicker to do, so they're less time-consuming on his end. So it's like this entire, like... I like having money in my wallet. I have to pay for food for the dog. Speaking of, I've not seen her for a second. What is there to play now? I wonder if anyone's online. Thank you. Dog 10 times more important. Does anyone have any suggestions on what to play? Do we have any friends on? I think I can harass some people. Hold on. Back to Twitch. Or I could call it here. It's been a while. Let's see. Do I know anyone online? None of my normal people are online, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to raid out to one of my friends. Does anyone Warframe trust? No, I don't have Warframe. Let's see, who is online that looks like they need a raid? You know what? I always love raiding Susume Reiki. He's a great person. Alright, friends, where we're gonna go? We're gonna go say hi to Susume Reiki if I can ever spell his fucking name. Okay, I did spell it right. So, anyone that's interested in going watching Reiki play some Monster Hunter Wilds, please feel free. Rest well, no spelling level impossible. I can spell perfectly fine. I will be getting back into Monster Hunter Wilds as soon as I figure out if I can get the DLC or not, because I am saving money for the Renaissance Fair. I do go to that. So, everyone, let's head over to Reiki. Let's go say hi. Yeah, we can go judge his weapon.